Aloha. And welcome. It's Sunday. Did you know that? It is Sunday. We welcome everyone online. We welcome everyone in the room. You can't all see it there, but this is Red Dress Sunday, third week of every month. And this is
I'm
the beautiful
Rita.
Rev Rita. I'm Reverend Patrick. And this is the Institute of Magnificence, better known as CSL Kauai, the home of CSL Kauai. Welcome.
And welcome to everyone online. We're happy you joined us. So we are in a month of what? Moving on up?
Moving on up.
Moving on up.
And if you're new, we are moving on up. We are moving. This is only 2 Sundays. This one, you came on a good Sunday. Next Sunday is our finale. And then we will be, thank you.
Thank you.
There we go.
Where will we be, Patrick?
We will be over at the Hangwangji Mission, and we are in the midst of lots of renovating. But we're very excited.
We are.
And do we have a affirmation?
Yes, we have an affirmation for this month. So it's this: I raise my consciousness here and now to meet all my desires. I raise my consciousness here and now to meet all my desires. Let's say it one more time. I raise my consciousness here and now to meet all my desires. All right. So let's just take a deep breath and move into a state of knowing that we're totally supported at all times by an infinite universe that just pours through us, that loves through us, that is us. And that right here and right now, we just get to sink into our chairs and relax for a moment, knowing that we are that consciousness, that raised consciousness already, that it's moving through us, as us, and get this moment to just reflect on that. What does that mean, that I'm raising my consciousness to meet all my desires? What does that mean? It means something different to each of us. So let's just contemplate that for a moment.
As I light the peace candle, always light the light.
I acknowledge that presence, that power, that energy of spirit moving through all of life, manifesting and creating. It is the divine intelligence, universal consciousness. It is the love. It is the source of all that is. And that source, that energy, that power is in me and in each and every one here present today, online, in our center, knowing that this this spirit, this energy, this one thing, this one energy is what has created all of life. And that energy is expressing here today in our music, in the message, in the words that are shared with each other. It is spirit in action. It is creating. It is manifesting. It is the peace, the harmony, and the joy of life. It is this moment of caring for the soul. It is goodness and grace unfolding in perfection. And I know today, as each and every one of us present are opening our hearts and receiving that message, that we are guided by that divine energy that is moving through our life as we confirm together. And so it is.
I like to call my hula sisters, Katarina and Alima, up to help lead us in the I Am. Perfection of grace. I am perfection of grace. I am perfection of grace, perfection of love. I am perfection of love. I am perfection of love. Perfection of love. E ala e kai mi kapua. E ala e ala e. Perfection of peace. I am perfection of peace. I am perfection of peace. Perfection of peace. We are perfection of peace. Mahalo.
giving them all that.
When you don't, I wasn't expecting.
We were
it was so beautiful.
mesmerized.
Thank you. That was so
Thank
beautiful.
you so much. Let's give it up.
Thank
you so much.
Ilima and Katerina.
Yeah. So,
Oh, I love treats.
welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Kauai, the home of the Institute of Magnificence, or maybe it's the other way. It doesn't matter. You're all magnificent. And I've been thinking a lot about us going forward and what we're really, really doing here. And all we're really doing is empowering ourselves to remember that we are totally and completely 100% responsible for our lives and our consciousness. And we don't have to buy into what's going on in the world. When I say buy in, I mean just, say that's us. We can add to that. We can add goodness to that and light. And the only way we can do that is by remembering who we are. And that's all we're about here, is just remembering how powerful we are, remembering that we're pure love, and shining that light out into the world and allowing it to be reflected back to us and helping the world that way. Yes.
Very
That's it.
nicely put, Rev.
Thank you. It's feeling it.
Rev, it's Rev D, Rev P, Rev R.
I know.
Rev R.
Rev R.
Rev R. So anyway, I was just having a moment here with myself. I'm just sorry. But I just want to say thank you again for bringing that to us, because it's just such a... That's what I love about this center, is that it's constantly filled with surprises. And in all ways. But we have some Peruvians back from their trip, and we like to say Susan and Desiree and Maureen is probably still on her 80-day around the world. And we have Kiana, who's not here, but she's back from Italy. In case you don't know this, we have a travel log here. We're a traveling, except that we don't move, everyone else does. And then they come back home to the light. But I do know that there are some new people here, and they're here for the first time, and I know there's several, so what's really fun about this is that now we can finally do the CSL Kauai dance routine that I have been wanting to... And then you're saying, I wonder if he's joking, because anything's possible. But we know that you, and Reverend Ruth's over there, and we have you as well. Anyone else new for the very first time? I'm sure there are some people online, our beautiful online service that we have been doing for quite a while here. But anyway, we know something about you, and I'm not going to make you do a dance routine. That would be ridiculous. Okay, you ready? Kickball change. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm impressed.
Hello. What's that? Oh, please. I leave that for the experts. You want Broadway, come over to my world. So anyway, we want to tell something about you that I'm sure that you might know, but if you don't, we'll at least inform you what we've heard. All right? You are magnificent. And so are you. You are magnificent as well. Thank you. So, yes. So what we know and how we know that about you is because we have discovered that we are magnificent within ourselves, and we are all becoming mirrors for one another, are we not?
Yes.
So when we are magnificent, we see the magnificence in you, we see the magnificence in myself, and then we are magnificent together. So if you'll join me, we're all about choice here, but if you want to put your hand on your heart, that's cool. But here it is. I am magnificent. Oh, but we're not alone. We're together. So we are magnificent. Oh, and I'm going to let you know that right now, that in the ethers, this is where we are right now, through this wonderful thing called the live stream. And there are people that tune in every week to be a part of this, all globally. So we are a global center, and we are very proud of that. So let's let them know that they are special too. You are magnificent.
You are.
Oh, and if that wasn't enough, all we have to do is look to the left, to the right, I don't care where, and let somebody know you are magnificent. That's it. You're magnificent. You're magnificent. You're magnificent. Magnificent. Janet.
Aloha moki hana Pua o Kauai Vilia me ka mai le laulili. Aloha mo ki hana pua o Kaua'i dilia me ka mai le laulili he mai le li'i he ui o nauna he aloha wau ya oe me a u me oe i ka puva aloha no o Kaua'i luana o ki pa malihi luana kaulana kainoa o Kaua'i ha'aheo he nani wahiwa aloha no o Kaua'i luana o ki pa malihi puana kaulana kainoa o Kaua'i ha'aheo he nani wahiwa Kaua'i he beauty maolino.
Wow. Yes. We were so excited about all of that we forgot to let you know that, because we think everybody knows Jeremy and Amy, but this is Jeremy and Amy.
Aloha, good morning. It's our last time playing at this building, but we'll see you
We're
next
moving
month.
on up.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. They have been with us for 10 years. I'm just going to call it 10 years. So talk about gifts. We've just been blessed to have you too, and we just love you. Yeah, and we're not afraid to say it. So, how y'all doing? Good. This message today is called Soul on Deck. Soul on Deck. But since I had mentioned the Broadway reference earlier, I just wanted to mention a little bit about when I was in Los Angeles and they would say, Patrick Feren, you're on deck. That would be me waiting to go into my audition. And so that's what it always reminds me of when they say on deck. But we're going to get to the soul of it. But here's what I really wanted to tell you about the on deck when you're in that position. There's a camera just like that, and they're waiting for you to come in. And I remember all the different times, all the different emotions that go with that feeling that says you're on deck. And all you're doing, and then you want to really be by the door, because when they open it up, the casting directors are in there, and then you walk in, and it's really, really calming. There's like 9 people you don't know, and the lights on you. You're just sitting there, and they're all talking about the one that just came in before you. And so what I wanted to just touch on is that moment before we take off. That moment before, while we're on deck, so many things are going through your mind, are they not? And it's very similar to life. Because for me, we're always on deck no matter what. We're always on deck for that next unknown moment. And that's what it feels like when you're standing outside of a door, waiting to go see the unknown, waiting to go see strangers that you feel might be judging you. Is he talented? Is he not? This, and then they're doing this while you're up there, and then you have your script or your sides, and you're just waiting. No. Because what happens is I was raised, and nobody in this room was, but I was raised a bona fide people pleaser. And so there's nothing worse than waiting in there thinking to yourself, what do they want? Have you ever had that? This isn't just show business. You walk in anywhere and you're wondering, what do they want? What do they want? And when you're young, and I went there when I was 19 or 20, so what, 15 years, 20 years ago? I went in there and I said, wow, what do they want? But interestingly enough, and I think this really, really touches where we are in our life every single day if we choose. I learned the lesson much later. All they wanted me to be was myself. They just wanted me to be me. But I'm in Hollywood. Ooh, what can I be? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. You know, and all of a sudden they go, does anybody smell desperation? Oh, that's that actor. And so, yeah, it was such a lesson for me because I was in it for quite a while. And some days I was calm and I was okay just walking in. And then other days I just went in and just tried to be what you wanted me to be. And I had not a clue. We never know what life is asking us to step up to or to be. And that is an interesting thing that came about as I went through it. I finally, when they said I went in the other side of it. I was a teacher and then worked in producing and all of that. And I remember talking to casting directors. And I would sit there myself and I would watch the actors come in. And there's the ones that would walk in. There's two ways to walk into the room. There was the one that walked in like, I have no right to be here, but I really appreciate the fact that you called me in. And then it's like they're going, next. Because no one wants that. And then you have the ones that got lots of confidence, right? Hey, how's it going? Yeah, glad to be here. And you're going, oh, really nice to meet you. We'll talk to your agent. Bye-bye. So that's the overcompensating. And then there's the ones that walk in and they're just present. They're just present. They're not afraid to look at you in the eyes. They're not afraid to just be, they're not trying to prove anything. And it is so glorious to watch. It is more glorious to feel. Because that's a very powerful place to be in life when you say, I know who I am. The ever-changing Patrick. But I've been getting this week a little bit into this thing called fierce spirituality. And now a lot of people don't like the word fierce because it comes up something like you're going to be aggressive. And I don't think that's what it is at all. But there is something that goes with that word fierce that people don't really like with spirituality because it's like, oh, it's not very warm and fuzzy. You know, but let me tell you something. Life isn't always warm and fuzzy. And sometimes that spirit that lives within us demands that we are fierce. Fierce in our beliefs. Fierce to say that I know who I am and I'm willing to change. And guess what? You can walk into a room and everybody says, you know, I don't believe a word you're saying. And you go, I acknowledge that. I respect that. I'm still fierce, man. Because I know that there is something moving through me and as me. So I had to look up the word fierce, you know, because I just did. So it's fierce. But first I looked up fierce. Fierce comes from the Latin fierus, wild animal. It means strong, proud, dangerous, and ready to roar. Have you ever been ready to roar? And you just held it back? Come on, roar with me. Fierce. Fierce. And courage. And here's the thing. I think a lot of times we're afraid of the word fierce or fierce with spirituality because they're going, oh, that's wild animal. That's the nature. Oh my God. We are so blessed to be fierce. Because fierce in my belief means, right now, I'm going to tell you, as we stand on deck to move, The moments that I have been fierce in my belief and in my faith and and knowing that Spirit's living within me, guiding me, loving me, protecting me, saying yes no matter how scared you can get, right? That's the part of the fierceness. It says, be fierce. I don't think I still have to get used to the word fierce. Dr. Lockhart, who I've been kind of checking out these days, there's something about him. I'm not always, on with his stuff, but the last couple, 3 blogs that he's written, and he said, we have forgotten that spirituality is total immersion into life. The pleasurable, now hear it, the pleasurable and the painful, the sacred and the profane. We have forgotten how to be fierce. And that doesn't mean I'm going to push my beliefs on you. I'm not going to push anything. As a matter of fact, that's the beauty, to stop pushing. Stop pushing and start allowing. I've been telling, if you're new here, I've been having this, and I forgot to bring him. I'll bring him next week, Quasimodo. I've been waking up at 2 and 3 in the morning. It's such a delightful time of the morning. So much going on. And so I woke up this morning at 2. I'm going to get a little drink of water, and for the cameraman that Rob always told me, please don't just move. Let us know you're going there. Fierce. And I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I'm going to let you know, I didn't wake up scared. I just woke up and I said, You know the feeling. So anyway, I just let you know, we don't even need to pack this place up to move, because I've already done it about 4 or 5 times last night. All the bookstores all packed up, everything's ready to go, and the TV, I've got it all together. All the chairs are gone. I've got it all together in my mind. In my mind. And now we have to go back to the moment of going, oh, we still have to do that. So I love it, the idea of the people who have walked through the fire and emerged as greater versions of themselves when they decided to be fierce. I'm just saying that word because it's gotten a bad rap in my life. Fierce always made me think of aggressive, or that you were trying to take something, and fierce just meant really positive in your belief. So I have this wonderful one from Clarice Pincola Estes. Do we know? Yeah. Just bathe in this for a while. One of the most calming and powerful actions you can do to intervene in a stormy world is to stand up and show your soul. We talk a lot about vulnerability, transparency, the person that says, I'm going to show you my soul, whether or not you like it or not. Here it is. Isn't that a powerful feeling? Hiding your soul takes such work. And it's a lot of sweating. Soul on deck shines like gold in dark times. The light of the soul throws sparks, can send up flares, builds signal fires, causes proper matters to catch fire. I like this. To display the lantern of soul in shadowy times like this is to be fierce and show mercy towards others. Both are acts of immense bravery and greatest necessity. It has come time. It has come time. If you would help to calm the disorder, noise and confusion, this is one of the strongest things you can do. And what I take from that is that I like the idea that we are these sparks, if we choose to be. We're divine sparks that says, I know it's dark out there. It's dark out there. Even kind of scary. But the biggest thing that we can do for anyone is to be that light for them. And that's what I think of in this. I woke up also at 2 o'clock in the morning. I had lots of things going on. And then the alarm went off, and there I was, ready to start the day. But I remembered thinking to myself The only time that I ever get scared is not when I am doing something that's new, because that's fierce, but when I forget that I'm not doing it alone. I have been watching the last couple weeks, longer than that, people showing up, doing things, hauling wood, climbing ladders. And I don't know why, because they're not interested in telling me why they're doing it. And the people that are saying, where are you at? And the excited people on our media and are going, oh my God, look what they're doing. Because I document everything, in case you've ever been around Patrick. You know, it's like, oh, look at, they're picking up a brick. You know, so, and if you ever were on Facebook, you'll know what I'm talking about, is that I document everything because I think it's so important to remember that people are climbing ladders, they're moving things. Yesterday, when I went home, I was sweating because I was over here saying what I wouldn't do, and that's lift really heavy boxes. And watching Jonathan over there with new technology to move us forward even more. And just like, wow, look what's happening. Look what's happening. So it goes beyond, just so you'll know, it goes beyond building a building or doing that or raising the money, which is always a fun place to be. Because just so you'll know, when you're raising money and all that money's going to really good places, have you ever heard of the word, it's not a really fun word, but over budget? Oh yeah. Surprise expenses. Yeah, that's my 2 o'clock. 3 o'clock is not the thing. So, but I do know that there are people all around this world, and I do mean around this world, wanting to make sure that this happens. And I don't even think they know why. When we moved into this place, speaking of fierce, we walked in and that woman over there, I'm going to tell you, her name was Leeson. She said, what are you bringing in here? And the guy said, a church. In the professional building? Yeah, over in 101. Can I talk to you for a moment? So she pulled the real estate people where she said, we can't do a church here. I just felt that. So then Spirit moved in because she was like, no, I'm not. And so she went, listen, you can certainly move in anytime you'd like. So it was like bewitched, right? Like they were like moving her lips. And she was trying to say no. And she was going, no. But then she said, yes. So that's what's happening. Excuse me. This is not like there's a curtain there that I can hide behind. Anyway, so what we're at now is, I think a lot of times, you wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning and you say to yourself, why? And Rita and I had a beautiful moment. I always tells out of school. My beautiful co-spiritual director and wife, we said, the reason that we get stressed at different times, Rita never does, it's all me. But I was just saying that what it is that we said we must not, and I want to share this with you because it's important for life, school of life. We must not forget why we're doing this. We must not forget that sometimes we don't know how and really why something's bigger than you can imagine, but we're doing it. I said there's no way that the Spirit within me would have ever have led us here 10 years later to drop us now, no matter what it looks like. And it looks pretty darn good from where I'm sitting. But I'm just saying that that's the thing. And so we went into meditation. It's really fun living with somebody, by the way, that kind of has the same, stuff going on, because then we can go to your room, you go to your room, and find out why we are doing this. And then we'll meet back. And that's the key of Rita and I going, it is. 10 years we've been doing it, right? And then we go, let's go into something even bigger than that, And I love the comment that somebody said the other day. Did you ever think you would be your age and starting this? And I went, no, I never really thought about the age, but it was also the same person that when my hat went off the car because I forgot to put it in when I was packing up something, he found it for us and he came up. I said, my neighbor, haven't never talked to him. We've been in there a year, but he comes over and he has my little Stinson hat. He goes, this dropped out. I was walking my dog. And I said, I'm Patrick. That's Rita over there. Here's your hat. And then he said, don't worry about it. You just had a senior moment. You just had a senior moment. I went, no. He said, you had a senior moment. He goes, don't worry. I have them all the time. And I went, so I just went, thank you. So I turned around and I said, Rita, I've been a senior moment. No. And then Rita, because she's a good wife, said to me, I used to have them at 20. And I said, oh, I feel so much better. So this is a time to be on deck. And the question I'm going to leave you with, I've been thinking about it all night, literally. I want to ask you and leave you with this. When life calls you and says, you're on deck, will you be ready to go? Will you be ready? Whatever it is, right? Whatever it is. The great unknown. I love this unknown. It's not unknown. It's exciting, yes. It's unknown because, and the moment we go through it, it won't be unknown anymore. It'll be known. And so the question becomes, will you walk to the center of stage, unlike that little scared 19, 20-year-old going to Hollywood, will you walk to the center of your stage with all your glory and say, I am ready. I am here. Say it with me. I am ready and I am here. Namaste.
So thank you, Reverend Patrick. So since we have these lovely hula dancers, we're going to share another hula with you guys. And this song was written by our kumu, Puna Kalama Dawson. And as they make their way up, I'll tell you a little bit about the song. She wrote this song for her students and how they would dance down on a hula beach, and where the tiny waves wash up to the shoreline, and likening them to the beautiful lauhala fruit and flower. And so the song is called Pa Mai Kala. Pa Mai Kala Ikavana Maya kahina he kupa he ona ona I kamalu o kala he kuhala he kuhala o vilia he ohana Kamamua me Kuia kale hele lua me kamali ame kamahi pula maia kahina no e kupahe o nauna I ka malu o ka lale e kuhalai pula maia kahina no e kupahe o nauna I ka malu o ka lale e kuhalai e kuhalai e kuhalai the lovely Ilima, Amy, and Katerina.
So beautiful. Thank you for this beautiful gift.
Rev Rita.
So beautiful. So it's interesting because Patrick's talk is exactly like mine. It's one of the reasons I don't like to go second. But I'll give you my rendition because I read Jim's blog too. Dr. Jim, if you don't know who he is, he's a New Thought leader in our movement and had a center of his own in Los Angeles, and now he lives in Paris, France. Wow, that's awesome, right? And he writes his blogs and he teaches too. And one of his biggest things is creating community, helping people create community, a beloved community, he calls it, and helps leaders to do that. So that's who Jim Walker is. But Rita Andriello Feren, who is she? So it's interesting because you told the story of auditioning. And when I lived in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and in the Southwest, I never really worried about auditioning. I just would get up there, but majorly it was because I usually had the whole play or the musical memorized before I went in. And I'd worked on it with my teacher and my voice teacher and everything, and so I was ready to go in, and I just felt really ready. But when I went to Los Angeles, it's a different thing, because when you go there, first of all, you just get the script, and you have to, like, you don't get to really look at it much, maybe one night or something, or maybe not even that. You might get it when you move in the room. And so you have to be ready to walk in there and, just like Patrick said, be your natural self. But that doesn't always happen. And for me, it was always shaking hands and, when I mean that, this kind of thing. I finally got over that. But I could, yeah. Anyway, so, but what I realized about that, if I just kind of think of the two things and what he was talking about, it's true. When you're ready for something, like I was ready for those auditions in Albuquerque, I was ready for them. They were big auditions, you know, in 1,600 seat houses and stuff, but I was ready for them. Los Angeles, I wasn't. So it is true in life. Whatever comes to us, if we're not ready for it, then it becomes something really that we can't handle, or we think we can't handle. And I'm really into this idea of soul on deck. And this week has been a very difficult week for me, like I tell you the truth, because I kept getting in the way. I kept getting in the way of the whole thing. Getting in the way in the sense of thinking I'm doing it alone. Not that I don't have people to support me, but that power that's within each and every one of us, that what we call God, whatever you want to call it, it's one thing, it's a power and it's love and it's force, and it's what he's talking about. The reason people are stepping, like not even realizing what's happening and these things are coming forward, is because this divine presence that's moving the earth right now and assisting us to get through this big change that we're going through and this big battle that we're having with those that want to control and have power and those that want to just collaborate and cooperate. There's that struggle, but this divine presence is here. And when we surrender to it, when we allow ourselves to surrender to it, then it works through us and we don't have all the stress that I had this week. So what was interesting is, I can't remember how, I think it came to me in a meditation, it doesn't really matter, but I kept thinking of this passage from the Science of Mind about Jesus. And it said, it was impossible for Jesus not to have become the Christ as the human gave way to the divine. As the human gave way to the divine. As man gave way to God, as the flesh gave way to spirit, as the will of division gave way to the will of unity, Jesus the man became the living embodiment of the Christ. But that's the truth. That is not, we each have that in us. He told us that. We each have that Christ in us. The Christ is the beautiful, amazing part of us that knows who we are, that knows that we are God's presence revealed in the world. That's all it is. So this whole thing about struggle and all of that and all the stuff that's happening in the world, I know it is because this power struggle. People are holding on to power and on to manipulating other people and all of this stuff. And then there's this other thing of giving way to the divine. And I don't know about you, but I'm going to give way to the divine because I know it's the only way that we can put our souls on deck and get with it. Otherwise, we're going to be just floundering with everybody else or struggling or whatever. And it's not always pretty. It's not always pretty. And one of the things Dr. Lockhart said is, I'm concerned with the new thought, whose principles, when fully realized, carry the healing power to transform society. But transformative principles are only realized through people who are themselves realized, people who have walked through the fire and emerged as a greater version of themselves, people who have a sufficient realization of abundance within to contribute to those around them, people who have done their work over time and continue to do it with dedication and enthusiasm. So nobody said coming to Earth was going to be an easy experience and that we weren't going to experience trauma and suffering and all of those things. Because to tell you the truth, the consciousness of this planet that we came to, up to now, has been that, right? We've been repeating the same patterns over and over. Let's go to war, let's do this, let's do that, let's control these people, let's, spit on these people, whatever. It's just like, but now it's not that. And we have a philosophy that tells us that we are responsible. We are responsible for ourselves to become the realized version of that God Christ self that's within us. That is what I know as the truth. And I know we each have that opportunity right now to stand up in that. And the Hungwanji mission project that we're in, things are coming forth that like Patrick said, I don't think half the people know why they're doing I don't know if they know why they're doing it. There's something pulling people to step forward, people I've never seen before, people that, are reaching out from across the ocean. They're, just the whole thing with the labyrinth that we're creating. That is just like, even the Swami, he's going to put quotes on our labyrinth, and he's telling us, the Swami from the the Hindu monastery, telling us, that we have a line connected to you, so to make sure this happens, that this helps with what we're doing. So we don't know half of what we're doing, is what I'm trying to say, and we just have to let go and let it happen through us. We just have to let go and let it happen through us and do our part, whatever that is. If it's playing beautiful music and hulas and smiling at people and having compassion. We've had some vandalism over there and people breaking windows, and we're like, okay, why is that happening? We're equal to whatever is happening, right? There's a power struggle going on. It's like, I'm here, you're here, okay, I'm going to show you who I am, blah, 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 blah. Well, Melissa and I went out yesterday to repair a window, and we were like, all of a sudden this compassion came through us that, for the person that did it. Not like throwing hatred at him, but just saying, you know what? And we did a treatment that she, whatever, would be, see, notice how I say he, that this person would be blessed, and that she would come to realize, I know, isn't that interesting? Sorry, guys. That she would come to realize that they too were worthy, that they didn't have to live their life that way, or whatever was, starting. So it was so peaceful to do that, Melissa. Thank you, all right, for being there with me. And because that's what we're talking about, that idea of being compassionate. It doesn't mean we don't stand up for our rights and we say, don't break our windows, okay, guy? Whatever, woman, whoever you are. We are going to tell the police because we want to be, we want to be cool with this. We don't want to have to go out and spend $13 every time a jealousy breaks. So, but we got to go at it the other way. So it doesn't mean to be a doormat. It means stand in true to yourself, to your soul, have your soul on deck, be that person in the world that you want other people to be to you. And the reason people do things like that is because they don't know who they are, and they're scared, and they've gotten carried away with something, I don't know, I'm not gonna say, and the more compassionate I believe we can be, the more we won't attract it, for one thing, because we will put, and we've done it in this building, a ray of light around that place, and that people will feel welcomed there, and they will also feel like they can't hurt it. I just know that. And I keep telling Roberta, the lady that is on the board there that comes and lets us in. So what's our job? Our job is just to be true to ourselves, to stand in the light, our light, to recognize who we are, how powerful and beautiful and amazing we are, and to put that out into the world. And that one thing that you wrote, Patrick, you read it already, but I'm going to just read a little bit, that this Clarissa, I think her name's Clarissa, as you pronounce it, Clarissa Pinkola said, "The light of the soul throws sparks, can send up flares, build signals, fire, causes proper matter to catch fire. Struggling souls catch light from other souls who are fully lit and willing to show it." Struggling souls will catch the light, and then they'll come. And if they don't, then that's their travel. That's their incarnation. That's what they're doing. But those that are out there that maybe need like the light that we can give them will be attracted, because they'll feel the sparks going up. They'll feel the light. They'll feel the love. Yeah. So I'm very excited about what's happening. I don't, even though we have a plan, I know that plan is the infinite universe, God, whatever you want to call it. It's that plan, and we're just kind of like, that's what it feels like, that I'm just kind of following the footsteps of what's being laid before me. So, and I think when I went to Los Angeles and I didn't totally make it there, I think there was something more for me, and that was my training ground, because I wasn't ready for what that was, and then finally it brought me to this. So it brought me to this teaching. It brought me to these like-souled people that I have there. They're my family forever too. So you don't know, when life hands you something, you're equal to whatever that is, but it's your responsibility to change. Because sometimes when things don't happen in our life, or we think that the life is against us, we're not willing to allow it to change us. And sometimes it's scary to change. But sometimes we have to change in order to go to our next thing. We have to be willing to make that turn, whatever it is. And we know that individually for each of us. So that's my message for today. So I'm on deck. Are you on deck? Yeah. So let's be on deck together. All right. Aloha. Thank you.
This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, 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 let it shine. One more time. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Hey, Melissa, come on up. Patrick, this is our time of giving and beautifully sustaining our center and our mission here and helping us move on up. Yeah. So gracias for everything. Thank you. Mahalo. And let's do it. We got a song, so we're going to sing the song, Pass the Baskets at the same time. You ready? Whenever Jonathan's ready.
I think you know it by now.
You think I would know the words by now? Well, we're moving on up to Makai's side, to our own sacred space on the east side. Moving on up, moving on up. 10 years in the making. Finally got some space to expand. Kids don't learn in the kitchen. They need room to run. We gotta keep believing. We are the power of one. Now we've raised our consciousness. Universe has our back. We believe in abundance. No such thing as lack. Well, we're moving on up to Kauai side, to our own sacred space on the east side. Moving on up, 10 years in the making. Finally got some space to expand. Dance break.
That's for the new people. Dance in the loon. He's starting us off. He's not afraid.
Okay. Thank you, Gary. Thank you.
Oh, he went there.
We've got Rita and Patrick. Sometimes Cheryl too. I have to change that. We're one big Ohana. Come and join our crew. So much more than Sundays. Our classes will blow your mind. We know quantum science, revealing our divine. Moving on up to Kauai side, to our own sacred space on the east side. Moving on up, 10 years in the making. Finally got some space to expand. Finally got some space to expand.
One more time.
Finally got some space to expand.
Yeah.
Woo.
There you go.
All right, let's bless
That's how it's done.
Let's bless his abundance.
So I bless the
Oh.
abundance today from the here in the center for all of those investments online and for all those monthly investments that are continuing to support CSL Kauai for our new location. It is all happening in perfection. That is this abundance that is coming forth, knowing that you're committed to the spiritual home and our future. And so it is.
So it is.
Right.
Thank you, Peggy.
Woohoo.
All right. We have, our children are on hiatus, but I'll tell you what, Sue Buckley and Reverend Diane and several other people have been working on the space for them, and it's going to be beautiful. It's outdoors, and they're carpeting part of it, and they're eventually going to have a garden, and it's going to be great. So we need to call the children in. So let's tell the children in the field who they are.
That's right.
You are amazing. You are perfect. You are magnificent. And we love you. And we welcome you. All right. So we have a couple of announcements.
So we have next week is our last week here. So tell everybody that we've all been together for the last 10 years and tell everybody. Just walk up to them and say, it's their last Sunday. Let's all go over there. And they say, where? And you just say, just go. So we can have a really nice moving out party. So what's happening in that world is whoever wants to, we are coming together. Diane is leading this, Reverend Diane is leading, but she wanted me to let you know that next Sunday we've got trucks coming. We have a whole bunch of stuff. We have pizza coming. We have, good stuff like that. And so we're coming together. And this week, though, I'm trying to get it so that we can start to move stuff over so it's not such a big thing all at once.
We did some yesterday.
To the Hangwon-ji property, that big yellow.
Across from Big Save.
Across from Big, by Burger King, right?
Okay.
So we're
welcome.
doing that. And the most important thing is just to get the word out there. And a lot of people are volunteering to come in. Let's just have some fun. Let's just make this. I mean, you can see all of the peelings of all of the stuff are off the wall now. And so I'm kind of like a person that says, let's do it ahead of time as much as we can, so it's not all like sitting there. So if there's any time that you have this week, let Angela know and she will set it up, because right now we're just arranging times that we can go over there.
So
What else?
I want to know, Jonathan, do you need special help or are you okay?
All of the sound equipment has to be moved. Yeah, I mean, so any hands are great.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So next week, he's going to be focused on this. I know our wonderful Susan is going to be focused on this. She doesn't know it fully yet, but she will when she comes back from doing that. And we just have it all kind of divided up so that when the trucks come and stuff, we can get over there and there'll be somebody over there. And it'll all work beautifully. And then we have some days after that that Reverend Diane wanted us to know that Monday through Thursday, I guess it is, that we're going to be over there trying to get things organized and ready for the October 1st opening. And so also painting the walls, stuff like that. Just so I won't go through the whole list because it'll make us tired. It'll be like me. Make us tired like me. I've already done it all. Unfortunately, I walked in here and everything was still here. I don't understand that. So I'll do it again tonight at 3, tomorrow at 3. So a couple of other things that are happening is we have Dr. James coming for a really, really wonderful workshop on the 21st of September. What's happening is we have the Sacred Journey because we haven't
October.
done...
I'm sorry. Thank you. October.
What did I say, September?
You
We're
did.
almost done, right? October, it's a month that is filled with so many things. I'm just going to let you know. We're moving on the 1st.
Well, we're opening.
Opening on the 1st. We're having... Our Sacred Journey is coming in on the 13th through the 20th because we just felt like we just wanted to relax in the month of October. And then the 21st, which is an all-day with Dr. James, who's been here on the Sacred Journey all week, and now he's going to do, before he takes his plane out, he's doing this really special workshop. So, and that's on there. And then we have our wonderful on the 28th. We have a celebration. And even if you did not know Rob Jones, his energy is still here and still with us. And we're having his celebration of life on the 28th at 10 a.m. in the morning. And you know how I do not like to talk about myself. You know, that I'm kind of a wallflower. So here's the deal. Guess what is going to be launched this week? The book. The memoirs of the little man has already been ready. It's coming out in sometime this week. And I want you just to know something about it. It's a metaphysical thing that I want to say. I'm not promoting the book or anything, but but could you do me a favor? Could you get that poster? I want to show you something that lit up my life. Somebody looked at the cover of it and they went,
got scared.
That looks scary. Well, you know, life, in case you've been here on this planet, it hasn't exactly been the rose garden of all things, but I love this. This is a story of a young boy called the Little Man who allowed himself to come out to be this Patrick that you're seeing right now. And I really feel, and this is what I want to say about this thing metaphysically. So, am I not the cutest? I mean, come on, let's just talk about that for a moment. Look at your boy. Look at the boy. So anyway, this is what they looked around and they went, oh, you know, and then, but here's the deal. At the center of all of the yuck of life is pure energy that has never been touched by any of that. And this is what this book is about. This is about having the center that has never been touched by anything. And how did he navigate through that? And how do we navigate now our lives through it? So they go, well, you know, it's really good for people who've had trauma. Is there a person in this room that has not experienced some form of a trauma. So it's not a tell-all book. It's not a daddy dearest or mommy dearest. It's about the things that are delivered to you in life and how do you move through them. Yeah, and how do you meet your challenges, and today, not then. So I know that it's not a promotion, but it will be here by the first.
Book.
But can you, but can you imagine everything that's happening in the month of October? And I wanted to put it off because I didn't want things around it, but I said, you know what? Let's just dive in the water.
Buy the book.
No.
Fierce.
Buy the
Fierce.
book.
I like this guy. I'm going to tell you. Yeah. I love you too. Yeah. Yeah.
Too bad
Thank you.
Kiana's not here today. Kiana comes from Molokai.
What an honor to have you here
Yeah,
today.
thank you for being with us.
You had me hello.
Mahalo, mahalo. Okay, enough of me. Enough
All
of
right.
this. What is going on?
Are we ready
I
to close
think-
out?
Is everything?
Yeah, I
Yep.
think so.
Okay, good.
So we'll see you next week.
Woo!
Whoa.
Uh-oh.
Are we on? Are we on deck?
Yeah.
What do we think about Jeremy and Amy?
How about the beautiful hula dancers today? Give it up for the
Yay!
Yes!
Woohoo!
I love the rain singing sweet melodies. I love to see bees and flowers in the trees. I listen to the wind whenever I need some answers. I flow weightlessly with the queen of the sea. Yeah, I go to the sea when I need some cleansing. I love to sing songs eternally appealing. And I love to dance, shake my body to the groove, baby. I love to love myself and all of creation. I love to love, and you know I'm not concealing. Open up to bliss as the mysteries revealing. Singing by the fire on a cool island evening. Heavens are reflecting in this moment. There is oneness. Let the land be sacred. Let the sea be sacred. Let's dance. Let the sky be sacred. Let the sky be sacred. Let the earth be sacred.
All right, so let's give a little gratitude right now. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. Thank you, thank you, thank you to Peggy Jerry for her beautiful treatments and her consciousness here today. Thank you to Leslie and Marion for being the Malama team today. Thank you for Ron Stover who fed us and helped us get some coffee going here and so much more. And to Roseanne and Peggy in the bookstore and Christina if she's there. And Jonathan Lee, thank you for making sure we're heard and for everything you've been doing lately. And Charles and Wolfark and Melissa back there on the video. Thank you for bringing the message into the world. And let's see, who else? Collection steward, Angela, and Roseanne too. All right, and Angela, our administrator, and let's give a big mahalo to these guys over here, Jeremy, Amy, and the hula dancers. Thank you. So let's just take all this beautiful energy, put our soul on deck, and go out into the world and spread the light and the love. And so it is.
So it is.
Life is a harmony and love is the reason. Honor and respect to indigenous cultures. Powers in the sharing of the old and new wisdom. Wake up and see there is no separation. Take care of Mother Earth because she's all providing. Soil, air, and water for the future generations. Put out the fires of this mindless consuming. Give what you can and only take what you are using. Eh Allah, eh Allah, eh Allah, eh Allah, eh Allah. This song is gonna end, so let's come to a conclusion. What can we do to dispel all the illusion? Kindness is the word, purposeful conversations, healing of the earth, and the graceful reparations. Let the land
sacred.
Let the sea be sacred.
Let the sea be sacred.
Let the sky be sacred.
Let the sky be sacred. Let the earth be sacred. Let the earth be sacred. I love the rain singing sweet melodies. I love to see bees and flowers in the trees.
Aloha, everybody.